and everything. I have to make sure the sound's working, but it should be fine. Pretty sure at least. Twitch keeps muting itself on my laptop. So I have no idea. I think I also come through quieter on my stream. Yeah, I do. The sound's working. Anyways, I told you guys I would do a stream sometime over the weekend or Monday. And Title, I don't think, is joining us for ARK today, so it's just me. I'm only going to do like maybe half hour to an hour real quick, explain some things, show off the base a little bit, and that's about it. ARK's been being a pain in the ass for me the last couple days. Today it was being a pain in the ass about letting me on, and last night every server or anything related to ARK crashed all at the same time last night. The Nitrado website even crashed for like 45 minutes for me. I couldn't access it at all. ARK was having some very big technical difficulties lately. But it's fine. So I'll start with the base. The fireplace isn't running right now because it's filled with charcoal, but outside's kind of a mess, so I wanted to start inside. This is the base floor, though. I set up a bunch of smithies because the Argent wasn't enough to have in here. I had an Argent sitting over here. She's in the cryo fridge right now. Over here with a bunch of other stuff. The snails were an accident. They're only in here because I didn't have veggie cakes, so they're just hiding in cryopods at the moment. We did get a kangaroo during Title stream. It's kind of Halloween colored, which is kind of cool. I haven't done anything with her because I'm not really sure what to do with her. But yeah. These guys are all staying in here. I do have one cryopoded dino to show you guys because he kind of got a very unique mutation while I was breeding. To his colors. He's the only mammoth that got a color mutation to his tusks. The rest of the mammoths that I bred all got a bunch of funky colors that chained together, but the one that I'm going to show you got a tusk mutation, and he's literally the only one that did. He's also the only one that didn't get passed on mutations from stuff. But as I said, outside's kind of a mess right now. There's a bunch of mammoths. There's Xenosaurs out of the pen. There's still future plans for outside. I gotta build a greenhouse and stuff to make kibble and veggie cakes and whatnot, but I'm working on it. Also, I was gonna put windows in. I'm not really sure, but from far away this thing looks like half a Viking ship. So, base floor, I got my fabricator, my grill, and as I said during Title stream, I have 8 fridges. The organization of everything is on point. Also, refrigerators only have 80 spaces, so I kind of ran out of room. Just needed more. I have my chem tables, and then in here I have narco berries and spoiled meat, stem berries, and in this fridge over here, I have biotoxin darts. There was biotoxin, but it expired finally. Got my meat fridge, my raw meat fridge. This one has veggies and honey right now for cooking. This is supposed to be the berry fridge, but breeding a mammoth army, I don't have any spare berries. The egg fridge for kibble when I kind of get to it eventually, and then the rare items. I did manage to fit this forge nicely in the middle of my entire building. So I have a giant industrial forge in the middle of my building. And I have the lights around that light everything up. I do have 8 lights in here, but it only takes 4 to light up the entire building. There's plans for inside too. Right there, I'm probably going to put the industrial grinder when I finally make one. I'll probably put it right there, upstairs, just to make that side of the building look nice. And then you have like the main area where the bed is to respawn and everything. I got my bookshelves organized with armor recipes, weapon recipes, or no. Weapon recipes are here, armor recipes are there, saddle recipes are here, and then this one is just like utility recipes that don't really matter that much. I just keep getting them because this game kind of hates me as far as loot drops go. I got my mortar and pestles up here just for storage purposes, and they look nice. This one has seeds, and this one has pearls and element dust for right now. I got a little busy making gasoline because of where my base is, so second safe just has gasoline and hides that I'm using for crafting. And then I got this safe which has everything else really. But yeah, and then there's one more floor to this, but it's only outside. I made a nice little like triangle-ish shaped area out here. When I was building this, an Argent attacked and kind of pissed me off. So did the railings. The railings are really annoying to place for some reason on console. Whatever. It makes for a good place to drop things that are non-violent that you want to tame because they can't get over the railing. Like our new snail that's down here. So I got a really nifty colored snail. He's stuck behind Opus right now, but this is our new snail that I didn't get to show off at all. He's purple and he has like a glowy green stripe down the middle of him. It's kind of cool. I need to get your slime off you because I just woke up. There we go. But yeah, the base is kind of ridiculous right now. Oh, something's attacking me. Alpha mammoth up at a level. We have to save breeding mammoths. I'm scared to deal with what? I don't know how that makes sense. This game, this base spot is a little weird because shit just randomly gets in. And I'm not really sure how. I know there's like a big spawning issue with this area, so like stuff will spawn here even if I have it completely populated with things. This guy that I'm riding right now is also a part of the breeding I was doing. I got very unlucky with the Uteranuses though, so. Greenie here is the Uteranus I'm going to be using for boss fights that I was breeding up. I'm not going to show them the stats or anything because they're probably not realistic as far as people see them because the server's a little weird with stats and also weird with things not spawning in, which is why I have a beehive over there. Athena's on standby, by the way. She's got to fly me to get berries for everybody eventually. I had those two on neutral to defend the base, but I think they're on passive right now because I was... these mammoths are doing breeding for power leveling. We have to take Athena out for a spin real quick to get like a realistic idea of how much work I put into defending this spot. We have to take Athena out for like 2 seconds. It's going to be hell parking her again, but I did say I would show everything on. I also tried to put in an auto search, but this game does not like me auto search anymore. You're not supposed to play anything unless it's male or not. Anyways, you can see this one spike wall fence that goes all the way up here. That's the lower spike wall. I just call it the inner spike wall because it's more towards the inside of my base. Inner spike wall makes sense. I do have an exit up here so I can actually leave on land animals and get out. But if you see this outer wall, it goes there and starts with the inner wall, and then it goes all the way this way. This took so much effort. I mean, it looks a little sloppy in some places, but it's kind of hard to get things to line up correctly, in my opinion. That's what I'm excited about. Giving my intro to the stream, a direwolf killed me. But yeah, this spike wall goes all the way over here, and then it dips around the corner over here because I had mammoths falling in my base. It comes over here, and then also blocks this place. I'm also taking damage on it right now. PvP's enabled because this game's dumb when it comes to breeding. So, life. made that, but she's definitely not supposed to do that. Most people use carnivores when they breed for boss fights, but I have seen somebody use mammoths before, so I kind of just wanted to do it with mammoths, because I'm having some shit luck with Rexes and Allosauruses and everything. I don't know. I mean, I successfully dino wiped during Title's last stream, but it's still a giant hassle trying to find decent Allosauruses or Rexes. Produce honey while I was sleeping. That works. But that's the only Rex that I've found other than like one other Rex that was, you know, only semi-decent because it was an alpha, but it was a level 20 alpha. By the way, alpha T-Rexes are enormous. They're like 3 times the size of that Rex. Crazy. But yeah, we got a couple Allosauruses and stuff, but they're not really up to snuff like all these mammoths are. I got lucky and got melee mutations on the mammoths while I was breeding. I don't know anything about mutations, but I somehow managed to stack melee mutations on them. This is the oddball out, though, that I wanted to show everybody. He is the only one that got a color mutation on his tusks. He has bright pinkish purple tusks, and he's the only stubborn little bastard that didn't get the hunger or melee mutation like everyone else did. He wound up with an oxygen mutation somehow, because all the other mammoths have 540 oxygen. He got an oxygen mutation, and he didn't get the hunger mutation or the melee mutation. Well, I think he got the first melee mutation, but he didn't get the stacked melee mutation. He got oxygen. But I found this guy to be nifty, so I kept him. I still haven't gotten another mammoth with a tusk variation. I mean, they all keep changing colors on me, but this is the only one that ended up this way. I'm not quite sure how it happened either. It's one of those things that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm still trying to figure out the breeding and stuff in this game, because it really doesn't make sense to me half the time. But yeah, I thought this mammoth was kind of nifty, so I kept it. I also have a mammoth that's like completely pink, that's also in cryo storage. I would show you guys, but then I had to have to wait forever to put it back in a cryopod. Just imagine these Hulk colors over here, except for instead of green, it's bright ass pink. So, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that mammoth. But yeah, I did get a few mutations on the mammoths, like I said. That one I'm currently leveling up, so you can't really tell. But this is a fresh mammoth that is just imprinted. The melee mutation was only for like 1,000. So it was like 2 levels. And then we got 4 levels worth of melee mutations. It was like a double stack. Because when they get a mutation, it gives them like 2 levels. Or at least that's how I've experienced it. I do have a mammoth in cryo storage that got another mutation, but I don't know what it is. I've looked over his stats like 200 times, and I can't figure out what's different compared to the 179 mammoths. So, that's the thing. I have a 181 mammoth in cryo storage. I don't know which one of these ones gave birth to it, but I think it was one of the Hulks over here. One of them gave birth to him, and he wound up higher level, but yeah, his mutation doesn't make sense to me, because he doesn't have higher melee, he doesn't have higher hunger. He didn't even get an oxygen mutation, which is kind of what I was thinking it was, because Uranus over here kept getting oxygen mutations out the ass. I got really unlucky with Uranuses. Like, super unlucky with Uranuses. This big guy's mutations are all over the place. I tried for like 30 or 40 eggs with him. I just couldn't do it. I think he's got like maybe 2,400 worth of health mutations, a couple hundred stamina mutation points, and some other stuff going on. I'm not really sure. He's definitely got an oxygen stat carried over from one of the other mutations that happened. But he's just a giant jumbled up mess. and I couldn't get anything better. So that's what happens when your breeding parents for Yutyrannus are only level 167, and they kind of suck. So the Mammoth kept going up in level, but the Yutyrannus kind of got stuck at 167, 166 area. So I leveled him up to 201 by killing babies, because unpleasant as it sounds, it's a very efficient way to level up your dinos. Just have your dinos have very high level babies and, you know, just farm them for XP. The problem with my Mammoth army is feeding them though, because these fuckers have 3,300 hunger stat, and that's just excessive. But yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to show you guys with base and everything, and talk about the whole situation with the Mammoth army. I've been busy for like a day now trying to do the Mammoth stuff. I just wanted to try and take on a boss in this game because I've never done it before. So right now I'm working on the Mammoths. I got the Yutyrannus. Well, I have all the Mammoths I need, I should say. I'm trying to level them up. I have the Yutyrannus. I have the Yutyrannus leveled up. I only have like 1 or 2 Mammoths that are ready to go level-wise. And then I need to go get a male Daedon. I might have to get a female Daedon too. I'm not quite sure what level my female Daedon started at. But I think it was a fairly shitty level. So I mean, I think I got her at a pretty decent level as far as I could with the server the way it was, but I think she's only like a 130 when it comes to breeding, and that's kind of bad, because they don't really explain it, but domesticated levels don't apply when you're breeding. So like, if I was to breed this guy that's level 201, it wouldn't matter. He would have a baby based off his base level that was not domesticated levels, which is 167. So like, the 201 doesn't matter when it comes to breeding. Now that's why I haven't leveled up any of these guys except the one over here, because she's not supposed to be breeding. She's part of the army. I just needed a more efficient way to level up, so I threw her in the mix for breeding purposes to level up faster. But all these 179s that are in the pile together over here, they have like 3 or 4 level ups apiece, and I'm not throwing it in there so I can keep track of which ones are supposed to be used for breeding. Because stuff. One sec. Okay, sorry about that. Somebody just needed to talk to me for a second. But you know, like the breeding in this game is kind of messy. I feel like even though like I don't think the stats should carry over from domesticated levels, because if I were to put a point into one of these stats right now with the settings on this server, this thing would jump from 11,000 HP to 20 something thousand HP. I think it'd be like 23,000 HP from one stat buff in the HP stat. And that's after making it so the server wasn't super ridiculous with stats, because it was when I adjusted some settings, so I had to nerf the settings a little bit on myself. But it still gains 12,000 HP. I mean, it's a mammoth. It's supposed to be a giant tanky bastard, so. But yeah, no, I don't think that the stats should carry over when you breed, but the fact that if I go through the process of leveling one of these guys up, that it still would pop out a baby near its basic level is kind of annoying. You know? Like, if I go have a baby with Athena and some other bird, it's going to be based off Athena's basic 205 level, or whatever she had, or whatever, I don't know, I think it was like 205 or 200. Actually, I have the best example in my inventory, and I'm not really using it. I have this Sarko from Title Stream. It's only leveled up 3 times, I think. When I tamed it, it popped out at level 202. That I know for a fact, because I lost my mind over it during a stream. Because I've been looking for a good Sarko forever. But like, it's going to pop out a baby at 202 no matter what I do. I could get that thing to max level, which I have no idea what the max level for dinos is. and it'll still pop out babies at level 202 because that's when it became domesticated. It's kind of frustrating, you know. But I guess that's what happens when they involve the mutation stacks or whatever. Because when you get a mutation on something, it usually gains like 1 or 2 levels because of the mutations. Okay, I don't know if Title's in the stream at all, but Title, if you watch this, that little thing down there, if it comes out of the snow again, that's a trilobite. That's what I keep telling you to kill for chitin in this game. There we go, it's coming out of the snow now. It's like a little brown raindrop-shaped bug thing that crawls along shores. There's a bunch near my house, but there's a bunch near the lodge, too. I've been trying to tell him to kill that for chitin whenever he needs it, but he hasn't seen one yet, so. But yeah. That's pretty much the gist of things right now. I've only been live for like 21 minutes. I did say this would be like a half hour to an hour, but I'll try and drag it out a little bit. Surprisingly, I think everything that was attacking my base kind of died. But essentially, what I'm going to be doing today after I end stream is just grinding levels on mammoths. And the way I'm doing that is mating. I'll get 5 mammoth babies, you know. If you don't feel like killing the babies, you can wait until they're full grown and then kill them. You also don't get resources from them unless they're full. If you're trying to craft some saddles and you need some hides, I'd wait for the army to be full grown and then just stamp them out after them. You know, I'm not trying to be cruel, it's just an efficient way in this game to level up and kill things. The one I was using to level up right now is this one. I think he's the first one of the double melee mutations that I'm leveling up. This guy over here, I'm not even sure if he has a melee mutation. I think he just had a hunger mutation. But he's been around so long trying to help me clean up the messes that I keep making that I just kind of left him, so he's still going to be in the army. He's kind of like the general over here, and he just keeps cleaning everything up. And he's got this cool blue pattern on his back that most of the mammoths lost over the mutations that happened with colors. He gets to hang out. He's also got my Ascendant saddle right now, because I only have one Ascendant saddle. But yeah, I don't know if there's any ARC people that'll watch this, like people that play the game, interested in breeding or anything. I'm running a private server on Nitrado, and I found out the server settings to make it so I could deal with imprinting fully with decent speeds on mammoths and Uteranuses. I haven't tested it out with the Daedon yet, because like I said, I gotta get a male Daedon, probably a new female one too. Uteranus pushes its luck with the imprinting process, the way I have things set up, but I do get them to 100 no matter what. With no admin cheats or anything, it takes about 27 to 29 minutes for a Uteranus to get fully grown, the way I have the settings. Which is fine because it's going to take you about 24 to 26 minutes to get all of the imprints you need at 8 to 8.5 minutes per imprint or something. But basically it does 33.5% imprint every time I imprint the Uteranus. So the way the Uteranus works with these settings that I have at, I think it's 12%. I have the maturation speed set to 12 and the imprint thing set to 4. So like it counts for more when I imprint them just to be safe on things. Which I guess a lot of people have done math on stuff over the years that this game's been out. But mammoths, when they come out, you can imprint them, and they'll be ready to be fully imprinted after one imprint, around 80% maturation. But this little dude, you have to imprint him at like 28 to 32%, somewhere in there. Then you have to imprint him again at like 64%. area, and then the last imprint is usually somewhere between 95% and 98%. So if you're not watching the Yutyrannus, you won't fully imprint it with a 12% maturation speed and a 4 times effective percentage boost. I mean, it doesn't boost his stats or anything. His imprint stat bonus is still 1. It's more or less how many times I have to imprint it for it to be fully imprinted that I boosted. Because I was trying to do things a little fast, because normal breeding in this game takes like years. It's frustrating. But yeah. Now I got it to work with him and the mammoths, which was fine. I was a little worried about Yutyrannus the first time I hatched an egg, but I figured out real quick that it worked. If you are looking to breed on Arcto, the trick still works. So if like you're imprinting and it asks for like kibble or something ridiculous that you don't have, you can put it in a cryopod and throw it back out. You do have to be aware that if you're going to cause cryo sickness, that it probably won't be able to be imprinted that way. But, I have no idea. But like this guy over here, or one of his parents wanted kibble or something weird that I didn't have. I put him in a cryopod, threw him out again. They wanted a walk or a cuddle or something, and that just made my life shit tons easier, because I don't have kibble yet. And it's just a giant hassle doing all this breeding stuff. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. But if I want to fight the bosses, I gotta do it, so. The mammoths, they take about 7 or 8 minutes a kid. So I could have probably made that a little bit more effective, but I don't want to mess with my server too much. It takes about a 1 to 3 minute cooldown, depending on what they feel like. And it takes about 4 or 5 minutes for a baby to pop out once they're gestating. It takes like 4 minutes, 10 seconds, I think, for most of them. Which is not horrible. I mean, it gives you time to do stuff, gather food, whatever you gotta do while you're waiting on things, which I don't mind. Gives me shit to do. Speaking of which, I really do have to gather food for these guys, because they're all probably gonna be starving real quick. Their hunger stats didn't move when I got on this morning. But the general over here, the general had 20,000 of his food stat filled, and he's down to 10,000. I only left him alone for like 6 hours while I slept. So I have no idea what happened to him. But these guys over here didn't drop any hunger stat after I went to sleep, which was kind of weird. And 179, so you're dead. 179. 179. The only ones I'm keeping are like new mutations, just in case like they actually get a good mutation. But they're all 179, so I just run around doing this real quick. I'll do it once on stream so I can show you guys. It's very effective for leveling. It's kind of cool, but like, it's just one of those things, you know? You got a power level in the game, you got a power level in the game. That's how it goes. Oh, come on. Why am I stuck? I hate this. The mammoth gets stuck on like everything, and it drives me insane. He's actually annoying. But he leveled up from the first couple mammoths. I'm gonna have to get him unstuck in a second. I'm rated the Yutyrannus for the other one. Here the Yutyrannus leveled up, and the Yutyrannus has leveled up a crap ton. So, you know, it's just one of those things. I don't even know what to put this guy's stats in. Could give him another 12,000 HP or 200 stamina. I don't really know what to do. I'll deal with it later. Why did you get stuck? I don't understand how you got stuck. The only gigantic problem with these gigantic fuckheads is they get stuck. I don't really know what to do with them. Stop again. I know you're server flipping now. You're a pain in my ass. Yeah, this is what happens when they get stuck on a server. They just sit here server flipping and I don't know what's going on. You can usually melee your way out of it, but that's a dangerous thing to do. So, yeah. Rather than give you guys seizures, I'll fix them later. I'm probably gonna have to take his saddle, put it on that mammoth, move that mammoth like one step. Then he'll be unstuck and I can just move him. But it's ridiculous when that happens. I've had it happen so many times while I was sitting here trying to get mammoths in line for breeding or get them in line so I could do imprinting one at a time real quick. Such a giant hassle, but that's whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Eventually I'll take on the bosses in this game. Oh, what are those? Are those wolves? I feel like those were wolves, but I'm not sure. I think whatever it was either died or ran away, so if it ran away, it might have been a deer that damaged itself on the fence right there that we just saw. But, or Megaloceros. I just call it a deer, it's easier. That's literally what it is, a deer or an elk. But, yeah. But yeah, so everybody gets to see the base. Do one quick walkthrough real quick before I end things. Like I said, just doing things quick today. I got a lot of stressful breeding and stuff to do on the game. I think there's only one part of the base I didn't show off, and it's just another hallway that's kind of identical to the rest of it. If you guys remember, I showed off the cryopod hallway down here with the one generator. Clearly, these electrical boxes don't reach the other side of the building. By the way, this is like 5 days using gasoline. It's literally gone from 100 to 48 after like 4 or 5 days of usage. I haven't even refilled it in like 4 or 5 days because I've been busy doing other stuff. The other hallway on the other side is basically identical, except for the wires are closer to this side of the wall because of how the generator's placed. I kind of had to do it this way because you can't just sit here and, you know, randomly connect flexible wires this way and then start a new chain of wires on this side over here. So if I really came down to it, I could probably do flexible wires all the way across like this, all the way around, and connect it over here now that I have both sides set up. But I just felt like that would look sloppy, so I'm just running two generators since I'm sitting on oil anyway. So I can make gasoline whenever the hell I please. Literally, I'll show you guys why I did this place for a base. As long as I don't build more this way, these are oil rocks right here. These are oil rocks. There's a metal rock in the mix right here too, but that's an oil rock, that one behind it is, these ones are. And before I built the shed over here that Bev's been hanging out in, because I got tired of having like 4 or 5 things spawn in my base at a time, because I was having a bunch of borers spawn in my base. Where this oil rock is over here, there used to be a crystal spawn. Right about here, there was a couple more oil rocks along the wall that would like wrap around in a small circle. And then there was crystal literally right there while my front door is right there. So it's a very good spot, very hard to defend because things can just fall into your base. They can also spawn in your base. It's such a big area and my spawn settings are weird. But yeah, there used to be oil rocks and crystals right here. There used to be some regular rocks right here too. But yeah, once I started expanding the building, stuff started despawning. This is that fireplace thing I was using to hatch Uranus eggs, because I needed a spot for that. But yeah, there's oil in my base, there's oil down the hill here. If you go out to those things, you can barely see it in render distance, because I turned down the render distance to increase performance. Where are you? That rock right there, that looks like it's invisible because of render distance. There's like 6 of them on that ice alone where that is. And then if I go even further over there to that area, there's more oil rocks. There's like 10 or 15 oil rocks on that thing right there too. So I got oil everywhere in this place. So I'm not concerned about gasoline. Also, if anyone's curious about my previous base that I had up here, it's over there. I thought I could see it from here, but I can't. I originally put my base over there. I think I showed it off the one stream. Out on that little peninsula of a thing over here that you can walk under. It's kind of turned into a storage facility for me now. I'm keeping stuff for boss fights in there and stuff that I don't need right away. Excess materials, crystal dust, because I don't know what to do with, or not crystal dust, elemental dust. I don't know what to do with elemental dust right now. So it's just kind of over there, inside a building. I'm still keeping that building powered because it does have fridges in it. It does have a cryo fridge in it too that's holding some cryopotted dinos. So I kind of got to keep it powered. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. I would turn a torch on, but the torch is broken. You can see in my hotbar. So I'll just show you guys this. This is what I was talking about with the lights. And why I put the lights in the lodge on Title's stream when we were doing it. I have 8 lights in this building. I only need 4. That's downstairs with the lights on. This is upstairs with those 4 lights on. I can see everything fine. And if the forge is running, you can see everything even better up here too, because the light shines up here from the forge too. But I do have these 4 lights up here, just in case I needed them. They are all powered by the generators. You can see the little cord sticking out of the ground. But I just don't need them. Plain and simple, you know. I think there's only like 1 or 2 more things to show off, and that's what I did when I maxed out my crafting skill. I made this rifle. It's not like godlike or anything, but it was the first rifle recipe that the game's ever given me. This thing has 818 durability and 437.2 weapon damage. It does like 800 damage to most things, and then small dinos it does like 1200 damage. I don't have any damage buffs either, by the way. Dinos take regular damage from me, so that's a regular damage amount that's going on there. That's fine, Title. But yeah, no. I don't have any damage buffs in this game, so the only damage thing that I changed was to make it easier for the people who would be joining me if they were new to the game, like Title. I lowered the amount of damage that wild dinos do by a tiny bit. I think they're at 0.8 right now, or 0.5 or something, instead of 1. So it like makes it harder for them to kill you. But tame dinos do regular damage, people do regular damage, and obviously, even if I had melee boost damage in my stats, that doesn't affect the gun. It affects melee damage. So yeah, headshotting things does 1200, small creatures take 1200, mammoths and other things that you can't really get like a crit on with a headshot or anything, they take like it's either 850 or 860 damage. It's kind of ridiculous. Big and medium creatures take like 800 something damage. It's insane. I actually shot my Sarco with it that I tamed over here, and if I would have shot it with the second bullet, it would have killed the Sarco flat out. And this Sarco was, I think, a 135 or a 145 when I was taming it. It only had 1500 HP. If I would have shot it twice, it would have died, basically. That's how powerful this rifle is. I can usually low level Brontosauruses and Pararacers too. I can 3 or 4 tap them with this rifle, and those things have nothing but HP. So it's kind of ridiculous. And because of that, I also used my crafting bonus that I had at the time to make myself a better Ascendant crossbow with the recipe I had. This thing was already kind of busted, and I just made it more busted by giving it a crafting bonus to make a new one. So it has like 1000 durability, which I didn't even pay attention to, but the damage is insane, so I just sit here with trank arrows instead of using trank darts, because they work just fine. I know I can type my own chat title and doing something and explaining stuff and whatnot. But yeah, when I shoot most things with trank arrows, they do like 127 damage or something. and that's trank arrows, so like I still have to be careful, but that amount of damage with the trank arrows, I think it took like 4 or 5 arrows to knock out the Sarco that I was taming. Or like, I gotta use a big creature for example, probably. My Uteranus that no longer exists because I tamed her and then the babies popped out better than her. I think she was level 110 or 115 when I tamed her, whatever the bonus is for levels on that. I have no idea off the top of my head. But she got a full taming bonus, so she was probably like around 160-ish. She only took me 15 arrows to knock out, with trank arrows, which is not horrible, you know. I had to chase her down. I probably wasted like 5 to 10 arrows trying to shoot her while I was chasing her down to knock her out, but 15 arrows on a large creature like a Uteranus or a Spino is kind of nuts, because, you know, you sit there with a regular crossbow, it's going to take like 100. Or you sit there with a regular long neck rifle, it's going to take 50 to 100 trank darts, you know? But then I sit here with the crossbow that has shit tons of damage, and I just use trank arrows, and it takes like 5 to 15 trank arrows to knock almost everything in the game out. Hell, after 3 trank arrows from this crossbow, I had the Alpha T-Rex that I mentioned at the beginning of the stream running. He was literally running away from me after like 3 trank arrows, and I ended up killing it, but that's because he was being a pain in my ass. There's mammoths out here. I forgot I triggered the mammoth breeding and didn't turn it off, so we've got a bunch of mammoth babies to take care of in a second. They're already mating again, too. I still have this mammoth stuck, though. He's the one that needs levels, and he's stuck. My life. Why? They're all 179. I'll take care of them in a minute. Like I said, I don't want to do all that gruesomeness on screen at the moment, so. Title's over. Typing in my chat because they can't hear me. I'm busy explaining stuff. I only got 2 hands. I can't type and explain shit at the same time while I'm moving around. But yeah, like I said, we got the new snail over here. This thing was like crazy. I grabbed it mainly because of its colors, but this snail was super high level too, so I don't even have to worry about its hunger stat anytime soon, which is kind of nuts. Oh, give me a second to answer this dumbass. Okay. There we go. Because he can't hear me right now because he's doing something with somebody's laptop or something, trying to help him. So yeah, but we have Opus down there. I mentioned him during title stream, but I don't really know how I got his name. I just kind of named him and just kind of looked like he deserved that name. I don't know. And he's my little lab assistant. But yeah, chem bench with a bunch of keratin, narcotics, stimulant. I even made lesser antidotes because I randomly was in the woods near the swamp and I took a swing at a Sarco and ended up killing a leech instead. So that's something that happened. I hit a bush instead of the Sarco with my Argent with Athena, and there happened to be a fat-ass leech in the bush that I just ended up killing. And when I harvested it, it gave me like however much it took to make 6 lesser antidotes in leech blood, and then also these were all initially like 50 stacks that were in here for leech blood. They're slowly degrading because you can't store them in a fridge or anything, but like I don't have anything to use leech blood on. I don't fish, which that's like the main purpose of it, is lesser antidotes and fishing. But like, I don't know. This man is complaining because he can't hear me right now. It's fine though. But anyways, we do have an otter for D's as well. I didn't point that out. I'm just trying to kill time at this point to extend the stream a little bit. But, not that one. That's the otter I saved from getting eaten by a Sarco. that's the otter that will probably go to D's whenever he gets back on. But D's can't get on the game right now. Loki's in here. Loki is kind of insane though. He's more of a combat Argent Davis. I've been power leveling his HP and his melee stat. So he does ridiculous damage, especially when he's mate boosted. I think he does over 1,000 damage when he's mate boosted. Argents don't really do a lot of damage. It's really weird, but they just don't. I would expect him to do way more damage than what he does, but he just doesn't. It's that simple, he just doesn't. This is the other god bird that's a female, but I'm using her as like a caravan type bird. And then we have Liz, because Title helped me remember the name of a female anime smith. This bird was being used as a smithy before I put in all those smithies downstairs. This Dodicrius over here was a giant pain in the ass, but he's basically a twin to Opus that I found, just higher level. And like I said, my luck with Allosauruses, not very good. This one over here was after I did the Dino Wipe, so she's kind of okay. But before I did the Dino Wipe, this was the best Allosaurus I could find. It was like level 40 or something. I'm just sitting here trying to find Allosauruses. I think I murdered like 20 of them, and this was the best one that I could find out of those groups before I could successfully Dino Wipe the server. I have such bad luck. I really do. Like, there's a huge difference between those. This one was level 40. This one was level 100. There's such a big friggin' difference. Oh, I never really pointed it out, but we have a Textego that I captured. She was really high level. I also have this deer. This deer was before the Dino Wipe. He ended up wandering inside my base, and he was level 120. So I just tamed him for the hell of it. I also have this turtle over here that I tamed for no reason at all. I don't know. There's a bunch of shit going on in my cryo fridge that I gotta take care of. I'll probably get rid of the trike eventually. I'm keeping the iguanodon because that thing is ridiculous. But here's our female Daedon that might be breeding. I might have to get a new one, but I have no idea. And then I have a couple Baryonyxes in here too. Do I have a male and a female? I do. Okay. Well, the only problem with that is I think this one's base level is like 24, whereas this one's base level is the level that it's at right now. I haven't leveled it up at all. So. They're not exactly a decent breeding pair for the Baryonyxes, but I'll figure something out. That's it. I know I gotta do cave diving and stuff or something. But yeah, Title just, he can't hear me right now, but it's fine. But, like I said, half hour to an hour, small stream. I think I explained everything, what I'm doing with the mammoths, other than the fact that I and kill all these mammoths that are kind of full grown now. Yeah, they're adolescent now. Oh my god, there's new babies already. Ooh, you're level 181. Alright, I get to keep you. You can stop following me right now though, because I don't want you following me around the map. We did get a mutated mammoth baby on stream. Wow, okay. Well, hopefully its mutation is painfully clear to me, because the last one that popped out at 181, I have no idea what the hell its mutation was at all. For comparison, one of these, they're imprinted all the way, so I'll have to just claim this baby real quick. Okay, so this 179 here, it has a hunger mutation that puts it at 18,500 hunger. And it has a melee damage mutation that made it's a stacked melee mutation that gets it to 385 melee. Those are the mutations on the 179. This 181, I swear to God, if you're not painfully clear, I'm going to have issues. He's not clear at all again. I don't know. Like, this thing's 2 levels higher, which means it clearly has a mutation. But there's no HP difference, there's no stamina difference, there's no oxygen difference, no hunger, no weight, no melee, no movement speed. The only difference in these higher levels that I'm seeing when they pop out at 181 is torpidity, but that's based off level. That has nothing to do with mutations. So, I don't really know what's up with these guys. This is the same as that other 181 that's in a cryopod. It's not evident to me what the mutation was. I mean, it's a different color from the mom, but usually color mutations don't affect the level unless there's some kind of stat mutation. The mom's right here. The mom's Hulk colored. Oh, you're following me. Stop following me, little one. But like these two compared to each other, stats are exactly the same, except for the one is level 181 and this one's 179. I don't know what the difference is between these two mammoths other than torpidity stat. And honestly, the torpidity stat's only like a 700 difference. But that's, like I said, that's based off level. I have no idea what's going on. I feel like the game's either jipping me on stat bonuses because of the server glitch that happened last night with all the ARC servers, or something's going on. Because if anything, these 181 should either have a hunger mutation or a melee mutation, stacking with its previous mutations, and it doesn't. So I don't understand it. I really don't. I'll probably put this small video up on YouTube since I haven't done any content. So if anyone on YouTube comes along and watches this and can explain to me what the difference is between this mammoth and the other one, that'd be great, because I would love to learn it, because I'm not really sure. I mean, clearly they're different colors, so you don't have to explain that to me, but if you could explain to me what the hell the mutation is that I'm missing, that'd be fantastic, because I seriously have no clue. It's just one of those things. They're identical to me. You know, obviously, like I said, green, not green, but other than that, identical. It's a little stupid when that happens, because I really don't know what's going on, but whatever. I think that's it today, though. I could show you guys that the imprint works on the mammoth with one go at 80%, but that's 4 minutes away, and I don't know how to kill 4.5 minutes of time right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna sign off here and take care of cleaning up those mammoths before I gotta go do stuff in real life in a minute or two. Like I said, when it comes to YouTube, if anyone can explain the mutation that happened with that mammoth, I'd greatly appreciate it. Because I'm confused as all hell. I also have another one that's identical to that one that apparently has a mutation, but there's nothing blatantly obvious about the mutation. Other than the fact that it leveled up and it popped out different colors in the mom, there's no obvious differences for stats. But whatever. I hope everybody that stopped by has a good day and everything. I will catch you guys whenever I do another stream, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. It might be next week. I might have stuff to show off on the base. I might show you guys a boss fight next week if I can actually figure out how in the hell to do boss fights. But this army is still going to take me a while to get together, so I'll figure it out, and we'll do something, hopefully soon. But everybody have a good rest of your week, or whatever you're doing. I think everybody is past the weekend at this point, but you never know. Time zones and shit. But yeah, have a good rest of your week. I'll catch you guys next time, alright? Bye.